Nitrosites, it is your boy, the Nitro General here, and welcome back to Week 3 of the NPBA against the Las Vegas Gimagools and Coach Protostatus. So before we get into everything for this week, guys, it's an incredibly scary week. It's a Metagross on Metagross week. So, so before we get into everything, I do just want to first off apologize for the no audio in last week's battle. It actually is going up. Yeah, it should have went up last Wednesday or last Thursday. It depends on when I get it up. It should have went up last Wednesday though. But I do just want to apologize for that. Unfortunately, I got a new computer right before recording that video, and I remember to do everything except for mute Showdown's audio. And of course, I can't hear it because I have my audio muted on my computer, but of course, OBS still picks up the desktop audio, and I should have seen it in OBS. I should have seen the levels of audio spiking, but I didn't. So unfortunately, that was way too loud over my volume, and I was gonna record a post-battle commentary for you guys, but I really wanted to get it up on time. Plus, I really did not want to sit down and record a whole nother video. There is actually currently a heat wave going on where I live. The heat index today is well over 100 degrees, and currently the room that I'm in to record, if you can't tell by the sweat beads forming on my forehead, is the only room that doesn't have air conditioning. So unfortunately, there's not too much that I can do about it, so I really did not want to have to sit in here for any longer than I had to record that. So I do apologize. You guys should still be able to see my reactions, and then I believe my editor cut it so you guys can hear what I have to say after the battle ends. But, so if you guys are excited for this week, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys like draft league content and competitive Pokemon content in general, and you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, I would really appreciate if you guys would hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of previous years of content for you guys to go back and check out, although the best of the content is yet to come. Some of that older stuff does not hold up the best, so, but, other than that, if you guys leave a comment down below about anything that happened in this video, that would really appreciate it. And if you guys could watch this video in its entirety, I would also really highly appreciate it. That helps out the watch time quite a bit in pushing this video to the newer audiences. And the last thing is always, guys, if you make sure you have your notifications on, you will never miss one of the videos that gets posted once a week, trying to aim for every Wednesday. So, but, So like I said, Protostatus has a lot of very, very scary Pokemon, but before we get into his team, so I wasn't going to make any transactions at this point in the season. I actually did not want to make any transactions this early. However, we had a team drop out last week, and the team that came and replaced him ended up dropping every single one of his Pokemon except for Clefairy. So I was okay with that. However, this team dropped a couple Pokemon that made me, question what I wanted to do going forward with our team. First of all, this team had Crobat. And I'm not going to go fully in depth in this because I don't really want to bore you guys, but we didn't end up getting Crobat. I actually wanted to, when I saw that he dropped Crobat, I immediately went to drop Kilowattrel. But long story short, Kilowattrel hits harder than Crobat. I would be alright with the bulk, but we get Crobat. That's 2 poison types. I did not want to drop Nihilego since there was nothing else really that would have done very well to fill its spot. Having 2 poison types, not really good, especially when our Mega, our number 1 biggest threat in our team, is also weak to Psychic. Did not want that. So, unfortunately, we didn't. However, this tier 1 that he dropped was actually a tier 1 that I was looking to pick up before the season. Now, it's not Urshifu. I know I really, really wanted Urshifu before the season ended. Actually, at this point, I don't even think I would go for Urshifu if it went up for draft again, because we have Blaziken, and having 2 fighting types is not great. But we did have another Pokemon that we wanted that was actually my backup pick that went a couple picks after Urshifu did, and that went up for draft. And looking at our team, I really felt like we would benefit from it. So unfortunately, that means we do have to part ways with Tapu Fini. Now, I do really, really like Tapu Fini. Do not get me wrong. Tapu Fini is my favorite of the Tapus and is the one I have the most experience using competitively. However, I really, really wanted this other Pokemon for this team, and I felt like it benefited us. So that is why we picked up Lady Liberty the Flutter Mane. So I'm actually really excited about this. Unfortunately, I really didn't want to draft Flutter Mane at first because I know Tapu Fini is really bulky. So being able to have Lady Liberty, I was like, I don't know. I don't really want to take that drop in bulk. However, it does have a lower HP and a lower defense than Tapu Fini, but it has a base 135 special defense stat. Tapu Fini was always going to be our special wall. That is why I drafted it. So having this Pokemon is not only going to be a better special wall than Tapu Fini, but it hits harder and it's way faster. Having a base 135 as well for special attack and speed, totally outclassing Tapu Fini in every way in those stats. Like I said, it does have a lower HP, but we are still able to take some really nice special defensive hits with this Pokemon. Not to mention, it gets a ton of really good moves. However, I know what you're thinking. That means that we have a lot of Pokemon that are weak to Ghost, right? We have technically 4 Pokemon on our team that are weak to Ghost. Now we have Lady Liberty, we have Golurk, we have Duosion, and there should be another one in there. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but we have a lot of Pokemon. Oh, and Metagross, that's what it was, yep. That were all weak to Ghost type attacks. So, actually, I just realized my face cam is totally covering some of this up, and it will be covering a lot of this up, and I apologize, but I'm not changing it, so suck it up. So that does mean that we have a lot of Pokemon that are weak to Ghost. However, we are solving this because we are dropping Blobby. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like Duosion, and I was really excited about it when I drafted this Pokemon. However, I always plan on dropping Duosion. Always plan on dropping Duosion. Actually, I always plan on dropping it the week after I fought the team that we fought last week. The only reason why I kept it is because it had access to Trick Room, and it was the only Pokemon on our team that could, and we needed it to beat the Ursa Luna team. However, we didn't end up utilizing it. We have it. Now, granted, we could end up fighting him again if we make it to playoffs. However, Flutter Mane has it. So now, we don't really have any reason to keep Blobby. As much as I love this thing, we don't. Now, I wanted another water type for our team, and because we lost Tapu Fini. Don't get me wrong, I really like Araquanid, but it's not a damaging Pokemon. So because of that, we picked up a Pokemon that I've wanted to draft for a lot of other drafts. However, we never did because we always had a Pokemon in a higher tier that we wanted to draft for a water type. So I picked up Chomp Chomp, the white striped Basculin. Now, I do understand that maybe the other one might be better, like the red and blue stripe one. However, because it gets access to Rockhead, being able to fire off the free wave crashes and Rockhead. However, this one allows us to run Eviolite, right? And it still gets access to adaptability. So we can fire off extremely hard adaptability hits with this Pokemon with a choice band, or we can run Eviolite and make it even bulkier than it actually is because it still gets access to the regular Basculin stats. So we can actually make this thing 10 times more bulkier than we could make regular Basculin. Not to mention it gets rattled, so because our team is weak to Ghost and Dark, we can actually have him take a Ghost or Dark type attack and get boosted in speed. Don't know if that's ever going to come into play, but we have the ability for it. And last but not least, there is the third Pokemon we dropped, and we haven't even got the chance to bring it yet. And I'm actually kind of sad because I was really excited drafting it this season, but we did end up dropping Meowth. Now, I really like Persian. I think it was really good. However, long story short, if you're going to draft a normal type Pokemon in draft, for me personally, it needs to do one of 3 things. 1, it needs to be able to use the Eviolite, or it needs to be really bulky. B, it needs to have a really niche option. Or 3, it needs to have a very wide move pool. Persian doesn't have any of that, right? It is not bulky, and it cannot run Eviolite, right? It does not have anything niche going on with it, unless you talk about Technician, right? But it doesn't even have that great of moves that take use of Technician, except for Fake Out. And if you're saying that Technician Fake Out is it's niche enough to want to bring it, it's just not. We have Fake Out on Weavile, and if Weavile's not coming, then we could bring Persian, right? So the only reason I would ever bring Persian is if when you did a Fake Out mine and we weren't bringing Weavile, right? And the last thing, this thing does not have a good move pool, right? It doesn't. It just has a very shallow move pool. So unfortunately, I think this thing could be good with Terra, but I was not using another transaction point to make this thing a Terra captain. So I'm sorry, Niwa, but you are going into the Shadow Realm, and we're picking up another niche normal type for the team, and that is Logan, the Zangoose. Almost couldn't think of the name of this Pokemon, right? Zangoose is actually a really cool Pokemon, and it fills both the niche category for wanting a normal type, as well as the wide move pool. I did not realize how wide of a move pool this thing does have, but it also gets access to Toxic Boost, right? Throw a Toxic Orb on this thing, fire off Facades, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. So, yeah. That is our transaction, guys. Let's get right into Proto's team, right? So this is his team. Like I said, he's got the Mega Metagross. He's got an insane core of having Tapu Koko as well as Cinderace. Extremely scary. Not to mention his Hawlucha that can have Unburden, you know, go for a white herb on close combat or whatever and get that speed stat, sword stance, and absolutely sweep our team. So because of that, we have to be really, really scared of it. Because of that, first off, we need something that's going to be immune to its fighting type attacks, as well as something that can hit Metagross. So that's why we're starting it off with Lady Liberty coming in for week 1, guys, with Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Taunt, and Protect, right? I want to bring this thing in, and it is probably going to be my lead, because I want to be able to bring this thing in, click Protect, see if Metagross is going to go for a Bullet Punch, which always KOs us no matter what with this set. We are running max speed and max special attack. Now, this thing Metagross can never outspeed us no matter what. However, even with the Expert Belt, we may not OHKO his Metagross depending on if he runs a bulkier set. If he runs max attack and max speed, we always OHKO it. But if he runs max HP, max special defense, whatever, we don't. It is a 2-hit KO in that sense. But we do have a chance of OHKOing it if he is I think there's a very slim chance if he's max HP. So being able to have this thing is actually really good, but I do not want this thing to be our answer. We can't just come in, click one move, and kill the Metagross. However, we can come in, see if he's going to go for a Bullet Punch that's going to actually do something very well for our next Pokemon, which is Upper Hand Mega Blaziken. I'm actually really excited about this, guys. The heat is coming this week. It's just like the heat is hitting me right now, and I'm sweating my bahukas off. We have Upper Hand, guys. We have Upper Hand that makes it flinch, so we can actually, if it goes for the Bullet Punch, we can just click Upper Hand that next attack and, stop it from going from Bullet Punch. However, if he stays in against Blaziken, that would be beyond me. He doesn't really have any other, but he may end up staying in if he just wants to get the KO on Fluttermane. And if he's matched defense to take a Flare Blitz from Mega Blaziken, then he would have to be max HP, max defense in order to do that. And if he wanted to just OHKO Fluttermane, I think he even does it if he doesn't have any investment. But yeah, so Upper Hand is actually really cool. Otherwise, if we don't click it, then we save it for another week. And then we have Knockoff that hits a lot of his team, including Metagross, including the Iron Leaves, the Unterra'd or Terra Ghosted Jellicent, as well as the Raichu, so that's pretty good. And then Flare Blitz pretty much hits everything on his team for, really, really hard, except for the Unterra'd the Unterra'd Jellicent, the Cinderace, or the Noivern, so. And then Knockoff is just really, really good in general for, just to knock off an item on anything, so that's really good. But the next Pokemon we are actually bringing is our own Metagross. I'm actually really excited about this because Metagross we have not brought yet this season. So if you were going to tell me after I drafted this thing that it was going to be week 3 that we brought this thing, is really scary. Now, there is something I really wanted to check, and I did not check before this. So I just want to make sure that Mega Metagross does not get Levitate. I don't think it does. But I just want to make sure that it doesn't, because that would not be good for us at all. It gets Tough Claws. Okay, that's what I thought. But I wanted to make sure it didn't, just so I didn't have to change the set real quickly. That really just occurred to me. But we have Clear Body, so we don't have to worry about, stat drops. But he doesn't really have any Pokemon that I'm really worried about in that set. We do have Steel Roller, which is actually pretty cool. We are not running Meteor Mash, so if outside of terrain, if he doesn't bring Tapu Koko, we only have Bullet Punch, right? Because obviously Steamroller only works in terrain, but it's just a really, really powerful move that is going to be doing a ton of damage to every single one of his Pokemon on his team, except for Cinderace and except for Metagross, right? It's going to be doing an insane amount of damage to everything. Really, really great. And we have Bullet Punch, obviously, just because I think we need it. Zen Headbutt is there for the Hawlucha and the Hawlucha only, because if this thing wants to, you know, fire off close combat into us, that's neutral. We can hit this thing for a with a Zen Headbutt. And then we have Groundium Z Earthquake, right? We have Groundium Z Earthquake because that hits a ton of his Pokemon, including Oko's Metagross. So we have that for Metagross specifically. However, we can just go for it against a ton of other Pokemon to do a ton of damage. So he has brought Tapu Koko and Raichu last week with Rising Voltage, which is incredibly scary. So that is why we have to have our ground type on our team this week, and we're running Golurk with Terra Ground this week, guys, with Poltergeist, High Horsepower, Ice Punch, and Protect. Now I ran Protect on this thing because I didn't really know what other move to run on it. Poltergeist obviously really good against his entire team, and we have leftovers this week, so we're not even choice band like we usually are, because I don't want to hit a high horsepower into the Metagross or the Tapu Koko, and then for him to think, and then have him bring out Noivern and then not be able to do anything, or Hawlucha. So being able to have Ice Punch is actually really good for that Noivern specifically. And then obviously we're just going to alternate between Poltergeist and High Horsepower. And I did not want to make this thing a water type for the Tapu Koko, since this thing is a really, really good counter to it. So because of that, because I am worried about the Metagross and I'm a little bit worried about the Noivern, we gotta bring our Frozone this week, guys. We gotta bring Weavile. We're going Knockoff, Ice Punch, Fake Out, and Taunt. Taunt we are running on 2 Pokemon this week, specifically because I do not want Swords Dance Hawlucha, as well as, you know, Calm Mind Comfey, as well as Swords Dance on Cinderace. I do believe, doesn't matter, I think Metagross gets Swords Dance, I could be wrong, but just having that's just really nice. And then obviously Fake Out's just really good against his whole team. Ice Punch hits the Noivern, as well as it hits Hawlucha for neutral, and then Knockoff hits pretty much everything else that I want to stand against. So then, last but not least, is a Pokemon that I actually did not think I was going to bring in this week, and a Pokemon that I did not expect to be bringing right after I drafted it, but looking at his team, I was like, wait a minute, this thing looks pretty good. We're bringing Logan, guys. We're bringing the Zangoose. I can't believe it. The week that we drafted this thing, I can't believe it. We're running Toxic Orb, Toxic Boost, Protect, Facade, Knockoff, and Switcheroo, right? Like, this Pokemon, I think, is just going to be able to come in. Like, looking at his team, the only Pokemon that wants to take a Facade, the only Pokemon is Metagross. And a Unterra or Terra goes to Jellicent. And that is literally it. There's not a single one of his other Pokemon that want to take that. Including, we have Knockoff for that Jellicent, which is really good. And the Raichu and the Metagross. And then Switcheroo is really nice if we do want to switch items with the Pokemon. And potentially it would be really cool if we could, like, switch an item with, like, Cinderace and get, like, a Choice Band. And then give Toxic that thing and then just fire off Choice Banded Facades would be, like, chef's kiss. But, yeah. So, this thing, obviously, we need Protect, because he has brought Will-O-Wisp on his Cinderace, so I do not want this thing thinking that he can come in, outspeed us, and then burn us, and then we don't get the Toxic Boost. So I want to always be able to Protect on the first turn we're out, get the Toxic Boost, and yeah. But that is the team, guys. It is really, really cool. Let me know what you think about the transactions down below, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the battle. Alright, guys, here we are in the battle against Protostatus. God, I'm gonna tell him good luck, have fun. So, alright, here we go. Alright, no Metagross is not what I wanted to see, and not what I like to see at all. Damn. Alright, so we're gonna lead Lady Liberty and Peppy Paul. I mean, that was my plan, to lead here at the beginning. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, so we Dazzling Gleam here, and I think I Protect, because if I Protect, that's gonna put us faster than the Tapu Koko, If he switches, he may switch out Hawlucha here. He may just go for the Brave Bird, too, into Lady Liberty. I don't know. Alright, yeah, he does. He's faster! That's Scarfed. That's Scarfed! Do we get swept here? Like, no, like seriously, did we get swept here? I might be cooked. I might be cooked. Like, legitimately, we might be cooked here. We're gonna come in with James here. And he's Scarfed, though. He has to be, so he's locked in. So I think I can go for Zen Headbutt here. And I think I have to go Titan, even though I don't really want to. I really don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. We can't lose Peppy Paul here, but I did not expect Scarf Hawlucha. That's like... That's really... Alright, 368, 388. I mean, if he was 368... No. Yeah, no, he had to have been. He had to have been Scarfed, right? Because I was max speed, 369, and he could be 368. He had to have been, he has to be Choice Scarf. He's obviously going to go for a Dazzling Gleam again. I don't think I want to lose Frozone here. I think I have to go Logan and sack it. Yep. Unfortunately, and he Volt switches now, probably into Ace, correct? Man, that's crazy. Because our one special attacker here, or not. Yep. So, the only thing I can do here is, I mean, 330 is I can maybe, if he goes for, he's obviously going for another Acrobatics. 337. What do you do to me here? Kind of just want to Steel Roller into Iron Leaves, and I can't. Oh, we don't have. We don't have. Oh my God, we don't have Quick Attack. Alright, man, I think we just get sweeped here. Like, seriously. I'm gonna protect. Wait, he's not Scarfed? Wait. He wasn't, so how did he outspeed then? Wait, whoa. We were... Max speed, yeah, we were 369. How did he outspeed us turn 1, though? I'm so confused right now. Like, I'm legitimately confused at how he outsped. Because that's 368. I was 369. I should have been 1 point faster. Alright, well, there's no way we outspeed any of the rest of his team, no matter what. So I think I just have to click Bullet Punch on probably the Raichu, and then I'm just going to click Facade here on the Raichu as well. Yeah, that's... Alright, so we're going to do this and this. So we're going to Protect once. We're going to... Actually, we're going to Mega Evolve and Protect. And then I click Poltergeist on whatever wants to come out here. Because we don't actually, can we just... Let's Mega Evolve and Protect, and then let's Terra and Poltergeist on the Raichu. He doesn't switch out here. So there's the Psyshock. So he's Psy... Oh my... Yeah, like... Yeah, like, dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is just crazy. It's beyond me. I legitimately don't know how it outsped. Like, I can't think of anything to why, oh, it's Unburden and Electric Seed. I didn't even think about the Electric Seed being consumed and activating the Unburden. Alright, so we're going to click Flare Blitz on Iron Leaves, and we should be faster. So I should be able to just, I should just be able to click Fake Out on Raichu here. I mean, I think we might KO the Tapu Koko, but, I don't know. Yeah, we do Oko the Tapu Koko. I gotta click Flare Blitz on Iron Leaves again. 350, 340, no, actually, no. I have to click, does knockoff KO Raichu? It has to, right? Yeah. And then, oh my god, 75, 65. I think I have to do this. And he outspeeds, so he's Choice Scarf on... Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll bring it down to a 2-0. Yeah, we're gonna knock off on the Raichu. I mean, we'll bring it off to a 2-0. But I don't... I mean, oh, no, or he's just... Was it a speed tie? Wait, no. He just can't... Never mind. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm a little... I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty. The fact that he didn't bring anything that I expected. Like, no Metagross is absolutely insane against our team. The fact that he has Metagross that can one-shot our Fluttermane and has super effective moves against Peppy Paul, has super effective moves against, like, our Nihilego, like, the fact of the matter of him not bringing that is absolutely nuts. I mean, great prep on him. I just... And then, I just can't. And then the Psychic Seed boosting his defense, and then having him outspeed Fluttermane is... And I don't think I could have done anything different. I think I played to the best of my ability here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't really have anything else to say. I think I played to everything that I could have. So I guess it's just playoff push now. In the previous leagues, the top two teams made it to, got a bye straight to the straight to the semifinals, and then everybody else fought in the playoffs. This season, because of the fact that the way it worked is every team going into playoffs, it ended up being 3 teams moving on, or that would win playoffs, but only 2 of the teams could make it to semifinals because of the way everything was set up. That has been how it's been every single season, and every single season I feel absolutely awful for the one team that wins in playoffs and doesn't make it to the semifinals. So this season I just made it so nobody gets a bye straight to the semifinals. Everybody makes it to playoffs no matter what. Everybody fights in playoffs. Everybody fights, and then the top 4 teams move on to semifinals, and then top 2 teams after that move on to finals, and then obviously whoever wins that wins. In the previous seasons, you need to have won at least 4 battles to guarantee a spot. Right now we're 2-1, which is really, really good. I think we do need to still get 2 more wins to guarantee us a spot in playoffs. If we win 1 more battle, I think we have a shot, but it's not going to be great. It depends on differential at that point, I believe. But right now, it's a situation where we have to win 2 more in order to guarantee us a spot in playoffs. And I don't know if we can win. There's a lot of really scary teams. I'm sorry. I'm a little irritated at the fact of the matter is that the unburdened psychic, the fact that he could then outspeed, and then that O code. I don't know. Let me look on here. Where is the showdown calculator? Let's just check this out and see if this mattered. We're gonna look at, we'll say Hawlucha. We'll say no item. We'll say acro. Where's the O? Acrobatics. We'll say he was max attack. And we'll say he was adamant. Against our... I don't think it mattered because our defense is so low. Yeah, so it was a guaranteed OCO if he, let's say, if he was not adamant, or if he was not max attack, it was a roll. Huh. Yeah, if he was not adamant or if he wasn't max attack, it was a roll. Well, it is what it is, guys. GG's to everybody. But, yeah. Can't win them all. So, that's going to be it from me. It's like I say at the end of every video, I am the Nitro General. I really hope you guys do enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one. Nitro General's out.